Hi, this is Dr. Arun Panda, facial plastic surgeon in Mumbai, once again with you. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do earlobe repair. So I would like to just explain you about the earlobe, what exactly and how exactly it's formed, and then how it tears. And then I would also explain you the armamentarium, basically what is required to have a earlobe repair. And then I will show you live how a earlobe can be, kind of repaired. So basically, if you see, that's a ear, the external ear, and basically what happens is basically I've got three parts. One is the helix, there's the tragus, and this part is called the lobule. The helix part is the top part, and this part is tragus, as I mentioned, and this is the lobule. Most of the times, this whole external ear, it's composed of a cartilage which is inside, and then there is skin which is kind of covering the cartilage all around. This lower part of the lobule most of the times do not contain cartilage, and it is basically very fleshy. You can feel it yourself with your fingers. This has a cartilage, that's why it is quite stiff. But this is quite fleshy, you can always feel it. So what happens is because of this fleshiness and because of the aging and because a lot of females wear a very heavy earring. So what happens is this part of the ear, they start getting torn. So because of the weight and because of the gravity, the weight of the gold earring, it keeps on pulling downwards, and there is a big hole which is created. Sometimes it is totally complete, which is kind of torn all the way till the outer edge of the lobule, and sometimes it is basically incomplete, like as in this condition. So what happens is in these conditions, the patient feels a lot of difficulty wearing the earring, and if it is totally complete, the patient is unable to wear the earring. So a lot of patients come to us for getting this repaired. It's a very simple procedure, office procedure, which is totally on a OPD basis, which we can perform in a OT. And sometimes patients also ask for something which is non-surgical. Non-surgical is something like you just put a glue in between that and just close it, but it is quite unaesthetic sometimes, and it may not be a permanent solution because sometimes the glue may kind of let go the whole thing. So the surgical modality is basically the most acceptable form of treating a earlobe repair, to repair a earlobe. The only problem is what happens is this inner part of the skin needs to be excised well. So if you see, this is the inner part of the defect which needs to be excised well, and once we have excised it and then we suture it, depending upon how big the defect is, it heals very well. We remove the stitches after 7 to 10 days, and the patient is able to wear the new earrings. We make a new hole in the ear after say 2 to 3 months. So that's how it is. So I'll tell you what exactly is required for us when we are doing a earlobe repair. So the first and the foremost thing when we are repairing is this clamp. It's called as a Chazalian clamp, which is something which is a modified one, but it's a beautiful clamp to hold the the earlobe. It kind of holds it up, and you can always kind of tighten it, and you make the lobule basically very sturdy, so that you can operate it well. So this is the clamp, earlobe clamp, which we normally use. So this holds and keeps the earlobe sturdy. And then we require some BP handle and 15 number blade. And then we need some tissue holding forceps, some tooth and non-tooth, and we need some scissors and some skin hooks and a needle holder and some local anesthetics, and of course suture. If we are going to suture the inner part, of the ear after we have excised the skin there, we would be using a vicryl which stays there and holds onto the tissues there. And the outer one we normally use a proline, a 50, which is very thin and which is quite sturdy and holds the skin together. So the whole thing we decide after we have opened and excised the tissues there. Okay. The first step is basically we're going to give the local anesthesia. Once we have cleansed it up, we are going to give the local anesthesia. This is lignocaine with adrenaline. So the adrenaline actually causes vasoconstriction and helps us to reduce the bleeding there. So that's a big help to us. So as I was telling you, the Chazalian clamp, it basically helps us to keep the earlobe steady. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this clamp on like this. So if you see, it does two things. It keeps the whole earlobe steady, plus the other thing which it also does is basically causes a little bit of a vasoconstriction and helps us to do the surgery without any issues or bleeding issues. So although we have a bipolar and a monopolar always ready with us, but if you see this is quite sturdy. Alright? Okay. Hold this please. Okay, so what we would be doing now is basically excising the tissues there. Alright, leave it to me. Okay, what we will do is, okay, so if you see, this is the defect here. I'll just show you here. So this is the defect. Okay, so what we will be doing, the inner part of the skin is what we are going to excise now. Alright. Okay, so we'll be excising the inner part first. Okay, so here goes the excision. So we go all the way deep to the inner part of the skin and we excise the whole thing. Okay, and here we go, and so sometimes or most of the times I would say the patient complains bilateral, I mean both the side of the ear, they have this kind of a defect because they have been wearing the heavy earrings for quite a while. Okay, so what I am doing now is basically excising the inner epithelium or the inner tract of the tissues or the skin. So once that is excised, we are all through. Okay, all right. Alright, so that's the inner tissues or the skin which is there. So what we are going to do is hold this please, stabilize it, and here we go. So the whole skin from inside is excised. Alright, so that's the skin which has been excised from the inside part of the defect. So if it is there, your suturing would not be complete and the tissues are not going to take up. Alright, now the thing is basically to evaluate, check everything alright, the tissues has been cut from inside, great, good, it's all done. Okay, now, so since the defect is not quite big, we're not going to put, you can take proline, so the defect is not quite big, so putting a vicryl inside is not required. We'll just stick to the outer layer of the skin. That's the we would be using a proline. So here we would be using a proline 50 basically has got, and it's very thin and doesn't leave any suture. Okay, we're using a 40. All right, 40 or 50 both are okay. So what we are going to do is we're going to use this 40 here. Okay. Now hold this please and stabilize the whole thing. You can hold it from this side, stabilize it, and we just suture it up. Had we required an inner suture, we would have put it inside the fleshy tissues and inside, but since we do not require, what we will be doing is we will be just suturing the outer aspect. So what is important here is basically to give a good aesthetic suturing. Alright, so the outer part of the skin here is just sutured. There we go. So that's the first suture. So it becomes very easy when we're using this clamp to hold it and stabilize it. That really helps us very well when we are actually closing it and suturing it. Especially when we are trying to close the back part, is going to be really helpful for us. I'll show you how. Okay, now I would require another couple of sutures here. Okay, let me just do one here and alright. So when we're suturing with Prolene, we have to be really careful because Prolene has a property that it might slip. So a few knots are actually required. Alright. Alright. So that's number 2. And here we go. For the third suture here. So we put the patient on some antibiotics for 3 days, that's sufficient, and we apply a little antiseptic cream here, like the tea bag cream here, for 5 to 7 days, and that takes care of the whole thing. So if you see now, it's all closed. Alright, it's all closed from here. So what we have to do now is reverse, go to the back side, because as I had showed you, the back part is also what we have to totally excise the skin there, and we need to close it from there. Done it. Alright, so this also needs to be closed. Okay. So the cautery is just a standby in case we require it. Most of the times we don't require it, but it's always better to keep on a standby mode. So had we got a complete defect here, which is extending to the lower border, we would have excised the whole epithelium all the way till the lower border, shaped up the lower border, and then we would have given a vicryl suture or a resorbable suture in the inner layer, and then we would have, one second, I think it is just slipped a bit, yeah, no problems. So what we would do is just put it inside and turn it. Right? So it's a very simple procedure, as you can see. Takes nothing more than 20 minutes to do both sides, and gives very aesthetic results, very pleasing results, and as I said,
the patient would be able to kind of go in to wear another earring, say after a couple of months, 2 to 3 months is what we normally recommend. So we would be requiring the patient should be coming back to our practice say in 10 days time, and then getting the sutures removed. This heals very well. All right. Leave it. So here we go. It's all repaired from inside and from outside. So as I said, this heals very well without a scar. It might leave a scar, but then it is totally very less visible. We're going to put some tea bath ointment on top of it and ask the patient to return to us after 10 days for removing the sutures. And as I said, after 2-3 months we can always go back and put the earrings again there. Yeah, so that's it from my side. So if you have any queries regarding your aesthetic facial plastic surgical procedures, aesthetic medicine, toxins, fillers, threads, buccal pad fat removal, jaw surgeries, nose surgeries, or any kind of the surgeries, please feel free to get in touch with us. We will be more than happy to help you. That's all from my side.